So welcome everyone to the Frequency Soul Collective. You are joining Beck McQuilty and Amanda 80 this evening as we are going to be, and by we I mean Amanda, going to be talking about the new incredible Infinity Mat. But first and foremost, we are going to go through just some announcements and reminders for those of you who may not have had the chance to either catch the weekly call or whatever the case may be. We thought it's always a good idea just to keep these reminders in the forefront of everybody's mind, just so that you don't forget. So the first reminder for this evening, other end, Amanda.
Oh, hang
other
on.
end. Yep, just move your mouse over to, yep.
Yeah, one sec.
Should work from there.
I think I have to click on first. There we go.
There we are. So the incentive, if you just jump back one for me, please, to the methylene blue. There we go. So the April incentive, when you have somebody come on board with a qualifying order. So a qualifying order is a subscription and an enrollment bundle. So when they do come on board with that, they will actually receive a bottle of methylene blue. Methylene blue is just such a big hot topic at the moment. So I think it's just amazing to be able to give that way as a freebie. And then on the next slide, we also have always our other way. That's it. You'll notice just the arrow will point to which way the slides will go. That's all.
Oh, because I'm going that way. That's bizarre.
Yeah, you'll see that's it. That you'll see the little arrow pointing. So that's good. The quarterly incentive, which we do every single quarter. So what that is if you enroll 3 people within the quarter of, my gosh, I was about to say January, February, and March, but I feel like I'm a little bit behind. So I'm going to say April, May, and June till we get to the halfway through the year. Goodness gracious. If you enroll 3 people at the end of that, once their subscription has run, which would be the following month, I would say that you would be paid out that, you will get a $150 product credit. And if you enroll 6 people during that time, you will receive a $350 product credit. So that's pretty cool. I love the picture of that little green drink because I always put mine in a jar. So mine probably looks about as bad as that one does, but I add in my cardiometabolic product, which is the gut, collagen. I add in my magnesium and some water and a little bit of ice, and that's my drink of choice. I'm doing that every single day. So yeah, there we go. Just a reminder as well about the incentive trip that is up at the moment. I have seen many, many companies over the years that do incentive trips. And I honestly have to say that if you are dedicated to building a business with Solex, and I know not everybody is, and that's fine, but if you are, this is super achievable. And that's probably one of the biggest things that when Marielle and Emma, who traveled with me from Australia on the last trip, when we were at dinner or hanging out, just chatting, and which was amazing, by the way, just to be able to actually hang out in another country and just really enjoy each other's company. One of the things that they said to me was they felt that people didn't understand just how achievable this trip is. I mean, by enrolling 15 people and having them have a subscription for 3 of the almost 12 months, 11 months, you actually qualify yourself for an all expenses paid trip to the Caribbean cruise for 1 person. And for 20, if you enroll 25 people, and when you think about how many people don't know about this technology, it's super achievable. You would receive a trip for 2 people. So they love it when Australians win this because it means that they have to fly us all the way from Australia all the way over to the United States. And on this trip, it's actually on the other side as well. So they're actually going to be flying us from wherever you live in Australia or anywhere in the world to, in our case, probably Los Angeles or San Francisco, and then all the way over the other side out to Florida. And then we'd be cruising off that. So that's something to really look forward to.
Sorry.
Day of Discovery Utah is also coming up, and we want to really remind everyone about that because It's super important to be there if, again, you're really interested in building a business with the company or even just learning the information. Usually there's like a lot of people that travel there, at least 500, 600 people. They've finally outgrown the venue that they were in the last couple of years. They've outgrown it. This is the third time now. So I would say that we'd be looking at probably 700 or 800 people this time, as there is a pretty massive team building over in Europe and UK. So Day of Discovery Utah, if you've never been, Utah is just the most beautiful state. I love it. September will be probably autumn, so like coming into their fall. So no snow, but lots of beautiful, beautiful greenery around, and it will be up near where you would normally ski. So there'll be lots of beautiful trees and hills and all the things. So if you want to plan for Day of Discovery 2025 in Utah, it's definitely a good one to aim for. We also have Day of Discovery Europe coming up. Now, that might be a bit far for some of us to travel, but if you have anyone over in Europe or the UK that might be interested in frequency medicine, this is definitely something for them to attend. So if you've got friends or family or anyone over there, whether they're a QLA, as in a quantum living advocate, or a PC, a preferred customer, or they may just be interested in frequency technology, I would actually invite them to head along. It's going to be a great 2-day experience. I know that Dr. Sheila Day has a lot of team over in Europe. She will be there. All of corporate will be there. I had originally planned to be there, but I have pulled back majority of my travel for Solex this year. We have a new Cephi group, the Subtle Energy Frequency group, starting on the 11th of May. This is a gratitude 21-day program that we're offering. The great thing about the collective running it as a group is that we do most of the work for you. So all that you need to do is put out the tiles and the advertisements that, again, we provide. So all of that is done for you. And then once people pay you for that service, which will be $111, if you have one person, that's great, $111 straight into your bank. You could have 10 people and there's over $1,000. It's really up to you how many people you invite and have in this group. But I think gratitude is a really great topic. We're going to have some guest speakers that are not inside the collective coming in and talking. My friend Alicia, who lives up in North Queensland, she actually is known as Dr. Gratitude. She has offered very kindly to come and present for us. So I'm really, really excited to be co-hosting that group in May. So we will shortly have some tiles ready to put out to you for you to be able to share on your socials and get people into that group. So that will be super fun.
She inspired me to do my gratitude one after the Day of Discovery last year.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, so
I love
after
that.
I did the next week, I did a gratitude Cephi group because I was like, oh, that's a good topic. She's inspired
Such a
me.
good one. I love
Yeah.
that. It is so good. And, we did an abundance one recently, but then I thought about it afterwards and I was like, I feel like we probably should have done a gratitude one first. I think, just dropping into that gratitude and then bringing in the abundance. But anyway, it obviously worked this way for a reason, but yeah, super excited for it. Our Bali retreat is coming up on the 25th to the 30th of August as well. So just secure your spot. There are only limited spots available. Almost all of the single rooms are taken. I say almost because I actually think they are, but I will have to triple check that. But if you're super keen to come along, we are going to have the best time. We had the best time last year. It was really beautiful, and every year I'm sure we just make it bigger and better. So if that's something that is of interest to you, we'll do a lot of business work, yes, but we'll also do a lot of relaxation and connecting and really just diving in deep as to what it is that you're needing in that retreat. So yeah, it's going to be super fun. And on the next slide, I think we have some pictures of some of the different things that we're going to be doing, such as the Pyramids of Chi, which is a really beautiful 1.5 hour sound immersion. We'll be doing a water ceremony at a different location to where we did it last time. We will be doing a half day, full day spa, which is going to be super fun. And we're also going to be going to Merlin's restaurant, which is a very mystical and amazing experience where you can choose your food or allow your food to choose you. So I cannot wait for that. That's going to be awesome.
Amazing.
Yes, I can't wait.
Oh,
See, I added this little slide in so that we would know who you are. So I'm going to introduce you now to the beautiful Amanda Adey, who's down in Victoria in Melbourne. She is a dedicated kinesiologist and bioresonance therapist with over 20 years experience as a practitioner, kinesiology teacher, mentor, and specializes in helping clients to navigate a range of mind and body issues. Her passion lies in empowering individuals to take control of their health, whether through her skill set or the use of the AO scanner. So I'd like to hand it over now. So Amanda's going to talk about the beautiful brand new Infinity mat. Thanks, Amanda.
no worries. Thank you. So, hi everyone. Thanks for joining. I just want to do a quick disclaimer that I'm not an expert in PEMF mat, but I definitely have one, and I have one sitting. I don't know if you can all see right here. I don't know if you can see my little pop-up, but it's on my table right now. But also a disclaimer that it's a holistic approach to things, and it's not to replace, I guess, medical advice, just so that you know that. So let me read this out. So yeah, so PMF, I've had this mat. Well, Solex has only had it available to Australia since about mid-February, actually. So I got, I think me and Tim probably got ours in first. And I don't know how many people have got them in Australia, but I was hoping a few would get on the call today, and at the end we can sort of share what we've found. I've only had a couple of weeks using it at the moment. So I got it just before I went overseas, and then I've been back a couple of weeks, and I've just been trialing it with me and my partner. So I don't have a lot to share on what my testimonial is, but I will sort of jump in with some of it as we go along. So welcome to the PEMF mat. I've done a little bit of research along the way as well, and there seems to be lots of different companies, and they've been around for a long time, and they have been approved through the FDA since 1979. So yeah, they've been around for a while. And US hospitals have been using them for post-surgery pain and swelling, clinical depression and migraines as well. So yeah, so this is the one where I've got the beautiful AO Infinity mat. And what it is a pulse electrical magnetic field, and it's a therapeutic device that emits electric magnetic waves at various frequencies, which start to stimulate the body's natural recovery process. So what it actually does is it repairs and helps you to recover in so many different ways. So just some things that it can do and what it's used for is pain, improves circulation and blood flow, cellular function, mitochondria, promotes relaxation. It integrates these advanced technologies with natural gemstones, which is quite unique compared to other companies. I know some companies might have one or two stones, I have seen, but we have 7 stones, and we'll sort of talk about those natural gemstones as we go along. So let's go to the next slide. So I just wanted to cover the features. Obviously, you can see the mat here on the right-hand side. It is quite big actually, and a normal massage table, it kind of goes over the edges a bit. So I'm actually going to buy a wider table so it's got full coverage on my table, because they are quite big. As you can see what the dimensions are here, 73.5 by 31.5 inches, full body coverage. It weighs quite a lot, so I found, you know, you can't, I mean, you could take it to different clinic spaces, but I've chosen not to because it's very heavy to get out of the car. and all that sort of stuff. So it'd probably be best to use and kept in one place. Obviously, there's the power, 110 voltage and 250 watts. We do have the Australian cord on it, so you know it's the Australian one, not the American one. So that's really handy. What else can I tell you about it? It's, the technology. It has 4 variable hertz frequencies, and they range between 3 and 23. So I've got a friend who's actually importing her own infinity mat. Well, it's not the AO one, but it's similar PEMF mat from China. They've got their own company, and theirs goes up to 30. So ours seems to go to 23, and we have 4 different settings, and I'll talk about those shortly. But in some of the mats, you just dial. So you learn to dial from, say, 1 all the way up to 30 and start to work out what each hertz does. But what Solex has done is sort of divided into 4 different ranges for us, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So there's 7 natural gemstones, and as you can see in the mat, you can see all the different colored gemstones all through the mat. And we'll talk about what those gemstones do in a moment too. It has a traveling magnetic field, which is constantly charging and ensuring a unique experience every time. It's user-friendly. Yeah, it's very user-friendly. I didn't get instructions. I did watch a couple of YouTube videos prior to it arriving, so I had a bit of an idea, but it's really simple to use. And obviously there's the PEMF settings in there as well. So how to use it? It's very, very simple. I mean, as you can see, it fits quite nicely on this sort of table. Mine sort of goes out on the edges a little bit, so it would be nice to have the table a bit wider. So you spread the mat obviously on a bed or a flat surface. I have seen people just putting them on the floor, and I have seen people putting it on their beds as well. So you spread it out flat and connect the power plug. You insert the controller connector into the mat and you plug it into the outlet. It's very, very easy and user-friendly. You press the power switch to turn on, and I'll show you that in a moment. You set the timer, so there is a timer. And there is a heating preference, and you can play around with that heat if it gets too hot. As it says, you can adjust the temperature control dial very comfortably, and it does heat up. So I found that I've had to sort of turn it back down as I've been lying on it. So you can just turn it off and unplug it when it's not in use. And I have read not to go face down on it. It's best to go on your back as well. And I will speak about some contraindications as we go along as well. So what is it? It's a pulse electric magnetic field that enhances overall cellular health. It reduces pain and inflammation. It increases circulation, energy, and immune function. It activates the mitochondria. It enhances repair and regeneration. It's really good for the nervous system, and I've found that that's what I've been using it for to start with, is my nervous system. And I'll sort of flag the one that I've been using that for in a moment. It's really good for sleep. There is the first, I think it's the 3 hertz, the green light. I can get on that for 5 minutes and nearly pass out and hear myself snoring nearly, and I have to wake myself up. It really helps you go deep, and it's for deep sleep. So it's pretty amazing. It enhances detox pathways, and you can feel that when you're on it. Like when I first started, I was really sensitive to the electric magnetic field. As soon as I turned it on in the room, I could feel it. Even as I walked around the mat, I wasn't even on it. Over time, I've got more used to it, but I was super sensitive to it, and I couldn't go on it for very long. And I was finding it was detoxing me. So you kind of got to play around and experiment how long you can last. But as I've kind of gone into the 5th and 6th session, I can last up to at least 30 minutes. But to start with, I was only doing 10 minutes. But that was just me. So you do need to experiment with how long you can handle it for. There's grounding, obviously, on there's a particular one that really mimics the Schumann resonance, and I will talk about that one in a minute. So if you're feeling a bit flighty, that one's a really good one to bring you down during the day. It also supports nitrate oxide release, supporting the natural healing and reducing inflammation. So there is studies out there about the nitrate oxide release. and that it improves the blood circulation. So what it does is it actually stimulates the production of your nitric oxide, which helps the vasodilation of your blood flow and improving that. So there is studies that it may help with, high blood pressure, etc., as well. So let's have a look at what the frequency levels are all about and the benefits. And I've got a little bit more extra information on each one that I haven't put in this slide. So you'll just have to bear with me as I go through this. So the 3 Hertz is the first button, and it's the green light, and it's very clearly, you just start to press the light and it will go green, blue, yellow, and red. And so they're the 4 settings. And so each light corresponds with a hertz. So the lowest one goes 3, then we've got the 7.8, the 10, and the 23. And as I said, some mats go up to 30, but ours these are the ranges that our mat goes to. So the first one, the green light, talks to us about the delta brainwaves, and I'm sure you've all heard of delta, theta, alpha, and beta. So it all goes into these different brain waves. So the green light is really for, as I said, deep, deep relaxation and sleep. It's used for the delta brainwave to get into that. It's perfect for getting that good night's sleep. So a lot of people use this one before they go to bed. And that's what I've been using it for. 20 minutes about to lie down, I will jump on the mat for 10 to 20 minutes to help me to sort of wind down. So also what it's really good for is the nervous system recovery. Insomnia, obviously, if you're an insomniac, you would use it on that setting. Adrenal fatigue is also what I've read. Obviously, all of them are for stress relief. So what this one actually does is it activates the parasympathetic nervous system and it increases the melatonin, and also works on the immune system and deep tissue repair. So as I said, you'd use it for people. If you're using it for clients, maybe you might think about this one for chronic insomnia, burnout, people with burnout, autoimmune conditions, also post-surgery recovery. So the next light one is the blue light, which is the 7.8 Hertz. And this one works obviously on the theta brain waves for dreaming, relaxation, and creativity. It's known to activate that part of the brain. It helps with creativity, dreaming, and deep relaxation. So it's really good for unwinding after a stressful day. And this one also clicks into the Earth's Schumann frequency. So I've tried the green one before bed, and as I said, I was nearly passed out straight away. I tend to use the blue light maybe more than the green light, just for more deep relaxation. So what else does this one do? It grounds you, it relaxes you, it's good for meditation. You would use this one around maybe clients with anxiety, stress, needing emotional balance. It encourages that deep meditative state. It's also, what I've read, is good for the subconscious programming and rewiring the brain. So the blue light would be really good for the inner voice listening and the mind sync. So this one really enhances the theta brain for subconscious programming and rewiring the brain. And, there's talk, a lot of them work with PTSD and trauma, obviously, as well. The yellow light, the 10 Hertz, works on the alpha brain. Again, meditative, stress release, but this one's a really good for mood boosting. So there's some studies around mood, depression, anxiety. So you would think about this one, I guess, if people were having issues with their dopamine and serotonin levels, they're coming in with anxiety and depression, and they're definitely in fight and flight. So this is the first one I tried, which was the yellow light. And I had read somewhere or watched a video where someone said 15 minutes on the yellow light and they were totally out of fight and flight. And I tried it and I did it for 15 minutes and I got off the table and I felt a little bit dizzy. So you can feel a little bit dizzy, but I don't feel dizzier after, I've had a few sessions now. But within about 10 minutes, I found myself walking around the house and I thought, oh my God, my nervous system's completely dropped. I just feel completely relaxed. My brain was calm. So yeah, I can guarantee that that one's really good for 15 minutes, fight and flight. So I think that one would be a really good one if we were doing any, I guess, mind, body, spirit type things. If you could get people on that for 15 minutes, be pretty good. What else does the yellow one do? Let's have a look. Obviously, mind and body. It's really good, obviously, for that depressive mental clarity. Chronic fatigue, PTSD. It increases, as I said, the serotonin and dopamine booster. And it helps the brain deal with trauma. So I guess best for people with low motivation, depression, and that also brain fog. And a little bit what I've read is it could be good for ADHD too, this one. And obviously chronic pain. So the last one I actually haven't tried, the red light, which is the 23 hertz, and that's for the beta brain, and that's for focus, alertness, clarity, and memory boost. So yeah. Also, what I read was it could be beneficial for people with autism. But again, as I said, these are just things that I've read and researched. I guess the best thing would be to try it out for yourself if you're using it with clients and, you know, kind of seeing what results that you get. So you'd use this one for people that have got focus issues, memory problems, brain fog, cognitive function issues, ADHD, migraines, and also for people who need a boost during the day. So for athletes or work performance, like if you're tired and you've got a meeting, you might want to like lie down on your mat, do some, you know, brainstorming and get the creative flows happening. So there are 4 frequency levels and benefits. When you do a bit of research about, you know, frequencies and the hertz levels, you can, you know, and I'm going to give you a little gift at the end that I've got a few of these spread out because we've only got the 3, the 7.8, the 10, and the 23. But from what I've seen from the research, like 2 hertz is for nerve generation, 7 hertz can be for bone growth, 10 hertz can be for ligament healing. And so what other machines do is they can go 2 or 7 or 10 or 12 or 13. So there's different hertz can do different things. And I guess, again, it is researching, playing with it. If you know muscle testing, muscle test your client or your family member to see which one they want. You could also, in your scanner, put a category in supplements called the, you know, PEMF mat and put 3, 7.8, 10, and 23 and see what scans for you. So you could bring it in that way or put in the green light, blue light, yellow light, red light, and again, scan and see what you need for the day if you're just using it on yourself. Or again, you could put your client's name in there and transfer that information across. So it's also got the natural gemstones in it as a benefit. And this is another unique feature that the AO scan, the AO Infinity mat has over a lot of the other PEMF mats out there. So as you can see, you've got 7 crystals. You've got the amethyst, which is good for spiritual awareness, relaxation, stress. It's known for calming and the nervous system. You got lapis lazuli, which supports your mental clarity, communication, wisdom, helps with emotional balance. Blue I don't even know how to pronounce that one. Blue chalcedony encourages calmness, anger, well, not it reduces anger, promotes emotional balance, can aid in communication and self-expression. We've got a couple of different jades in here. The Dongli jade, it's for emotional balance. It helps to attract prosperity, promote physical healing. Yellow agate, grounding, confidence, mental clarity, digestion. Golden jade is good for discipline, vitality, emotional resilience, focus, determination. And red jasper, which is a nurturing stone for stability, emotional strength and endurance. It's very grounding and courage. So not only has it got the benefits of the hertz in there and the frequencies, you've also got the gemstones in there as well. So obviously there's the unique features of the mat. I've got the chakra stones, which we just talked about. So when these chakra stones, gemstones get heated, they emit these beneficial frequencies into the cell. So the mat also has the infrared, which will heat up. So you can have it quite hot, but you have to be quite careful how hot you go because you can feel quite dehydrated and your body can heat up quite a lot. So I found that I need to turn the heat quite down. But obviously what the heat's doing, it is bringing those frequencies from the stones into the cell and helping to stimulate. So yeah, the infrared's adjustable. They've got the unique coil design in there. So Lauren talks about this a lot. The multiple coils on the mat, what it does, it allows energy and frequency to shift continuously, keeping the body engaged. So it kind of goes around and around. When you get the mat, you get this little magnet and you can pop it on the mat to see the magnet jumping up and down. So you know where the PEMF actually is in the mat as it's moving around. And what this does is it helps prevent the brain from adapting so it can ignore the signals and can get the benefits. It also has a traveling magnetic field that's been put into this feature, which provides multiple layers of protection and Faraday cages type things to filter out electric smog, EMFs, and dirty energy, ensuring a cleaner and more effective energy experience. So people will probably ask you, oh, it's electromagnetic. Has it got EMFs, So, this is a good one to remember that it has got those extra layers of protection. And I think from what I remember, Lauren saying it was a Japanese design where they put two fields over each other or something. I can't remember the whole language, but there is a video going around from DOD where Lauren talks about that. And I think Emma has that video somewhere that she recorded. So if anyone wants that, I think just reach out to Emma. I'm sure she would pass it on. So yeah, so that would be, because a lot of them will give out, EMFs. So people might be against that. And as I said, when I first sort of walked around it, I could really feel that sort of energy. And it did feel a bit icky to start with until I got used to it. And it can kind of irritate you if it's starting to detox you as well. So these are the controls. This is what it looks like up here. It's got a main power button that controls all the functions. So you've got a timer. So you can turn it on for 3 hours, 6 hours, or 12 hours. So obviously, if you're going to be using it all day in clinic or at home, you could just keep it on all day and just keep it on a low setting. So as you can see, these are the programs. So option 1 is that 3 hertz. So they all go on for 15 minutes and then they go 45 minutes and they run idle. So 15 minutes on and then 45-minute running idle. So they're all the same, option 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can do a temperature control dial, which adjusts it. And over here kind of shows you the temperature that you can go to. So what I've kind of read is you kind of don't want to heat your body over the 103. So I've been turning mine down when it sort of gets up to here, the 50 Celsius, and I kind of keep it sort of around the 30 and 40 because as the body temperature increases, it can increase the pulse rate up to 50%. So just be careful, like if your heart starts racing or you're sweating a lot on it or you're having breathing difficulties, you need to sort of get off the mat immediately type stuff. So just be wary of, how much you can handle. If you're sweating a lot, obviously, and your minerals are lost, you need to hydrate more. So you do need to drink water before and after getting on the mat is a good idea. So safety and usage guides, well, you basically ensure the mat is spread out and it's dry, it's placed in a safe surface. As I said, monitor the heat settings, avoid sharp objects. So, probably don't get your dogs and cats jumping all over it. You don't want to leave it folded up. You kind of want to have it quite flat. And it does come folded up, obviously, in the box. And there is a carry bag that it comes with. But what I've read is it's best to try and keep it flat and keep it somewhere. After use, obviously unplug it from the power area and consult a doctor if you have any medical concerns. So they say the recommended use, the first session maybe start with 30 minutes. I mean, as I said, I couldn't even start on 30. I just did 10 and then I kind of went up to 30. Some people get on the mat and do 45 minutes and they're fine, but I'm a super sensitive being, so it takes me a while to, to get up to those sorts of levels. Even with vitamins and minerals, I have to take small dosages to start with. So just adjust your time, do it gradually. They say the best benefits is to use it regularly. And there's a guy called Alex in the US that does, I think his name's Alex Taurus or something like that. And he does biohacks of all new products that come out. And he did a biohack on this mat. And I think he is with Solex on some level, but he does, do YouTubes on all different products that are coming out. And he did one on the AO Infinity mat. And he talks about if you use the mat, I think it was 3 or 4 times a week for at least like 20, 30-minute sessions over an 8-month period, you basically, all your cells die and you get new cells. So the anti-aging benefits is amazing. You're meant to look younger, you get new cells. So really this is something you probably want in your home as a home tool. Yes, use it in, practitioner type thing, but if you've got it in your house, you can use it 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week quite easily. So I just thought, wow, over 8 months, that's not that hard, is it? Imagine the benefits it can do to your mitochondria and all your cells, etc., because it pretty much detoxes everything. Yeah, so watch this space. Hopefully we're all looking younger. So who not to use the mat for? These are obviously contraindications. Tread carefully. Obviously, you got to talk to who you're using it with. Every kind of mat company seems to say different things about what not to use it for. But this is kind of the things that I did read. Obviously, if you're high fever, don't go on it. Don't go on it if you're pregnant. Hearing conditions, internal bleeding, although it's used for wound healing, if you've got an open wound, don't go on it. Obviously, if you've got cardiovascular issues, kidney problems, implants, they say not to use it. Low blood sugar, high blood pressure, be careful. Obviously, they say minors under 12. I mean, people might use it with their kids, but what I've read is you're not meant to, whether that's, I know my friend who's ordered her own mat from China, they use it with their kids, but what I've read is not to. So I don't know enough about it to sort of, maybe it's something we can ask Lauren at some stage. Obviously chronic conditions, strokes in the last 6 months, and there's some other things on here too. But yeah, I think this is the one that comes with the AO mat, but other brands have different things. Pretty similar though. I just wanted to talk some testimonials. Obviously, I've had a few myself with the nervous system and the sleep. I haven't had anyone on it with any chronic pain yet, so I don't have a testimonial on that. I haven't used it on clients yet because I'm waiting for my new space so I can roll it out. So it's just been personal use at the moment. But I have found on the Solex websites, I collected a whole heap of testimonials that I found. That were all on Facebook. So here's a few for us. So I've struggled with chronic pain for years, and the AO Infinity Mat has been a game changer. The PEMF therapy helps me feel relaxed and pain-free by Sarah. I use the mat every night before bed, and my sleep has never been better. The frequencies truly promote deep relaxation. James, I love the gemstones and infrared combination. It gives me incredible sense of balance, well-being after every session. Emily, my brother came home last night, haven't spelt that right, but anyway, in with severe pain in his shoulder and elbow, and he lied down on the mat for 30 minutes and fell asleep. And when he woke up, I think that's meant to be said, he felt less stressed and tension went out of his feet and the pain was gone completely. Sorry about that. Didn't really check that one. More testimonials, lots of improvements with flexibility of spine, nervous system calming down using the mat, and that's from Tammy Ward, who we all know. I use it before bed and I sleep like a baby, and I'm perimenopausal. That was Tracy. From my research, you only need 8 minutes twice a day for healing benefits. So I fall asleep very quickly. I sleep much more soundly at night. I use it for about 30 to 45 minutes on the green setting with an hour of bedtime, Melinda. I love the yellow setting for getting me out of fight and flight quickly. It really grounds me. So there's another one, Verna. So if you haven't experienced the AO Infinity Mat, I encourage you to have an experience. If you're not ready to buy one, I've got one in Melbourne. If anyone wants to have a go, just give me a call. I'm happy for you to come over to my house and try it out. I'm sure, the other girls in Queensland are doing the same. I don't know if anyone's got one in WA yet. Do you know, Beck?
Not off the top of my head. That's not to say that someone doesn't have one. I'm just not 100%
Yeah.
sure who it is. I
Yeah.
know that one of the girls is opening up a new space. So I'd
Okay.
say that she'll have one in her new space when she opens it. And I know that she's kind of planning and getting all of that ready. So I don't think that'll be too far away.
Yeah, right. Cool. So yeah, so just yell out if you're in Melbourne and you're not ready to buy, but you'd like to try, just give me a call and pop over. Also, yeah, so obviously it's a way for a new level of relaxation, for healing, for restoration. It's cutting edge technology. Obviously, people are going to use it for themselves in their home, or if you're a practitioner, you might want to use it as a service. So I'm going to be offering, I do an hour kinesiology sessions, but what I'm going to be doing is offering an hour and a half. So an hour kinesiology, and the last 30 minutes they get to lie on the mat with their inner voice tunes. And so I'm going to do that at the end of the session to integrate the kinesiology, and they get to ground and listen to their tunes, and off they go. So I'm going to upsell my services with that. That can also come for a 30 to 45-minute session on their own as well. So that's how I'm going to be introducing it into my clinic. And of course, I'll be using it for myself. So obviously, if you're a QLA, a loyalty price is 1,200 US. If you're selling retail, it's 600 US. So I have heard they're a lot, well, some of them are a lot more expensive than that, and then some are cheaper than that as well. So I think you have to do your research on these mats. I've found a book, I haven't read it yet, but recommended reading, PEMF, The Fifth Element, is meant to be a really good book to read if you're wanting to study a little bit more on these frequencies and what they do on the mat. So yeah, that's kind of what I have for you. I don't know if there's anyone on the call who has a mat that would like to share their experience as well. I'd love to hear.
Tim has a mat.
Might stop sharing. See everyone's face. Tim, do you have
Oh,
a mat?
I know Tanika has a mat. Tanika's in
Oh,
here.
Yeah.
Hey, beautiful girl.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I use my mat almost every day with my hub, and it's so nice. And I like the green, and it helps me with integrating everything. I've used a red on a client. She felt really energized, clear-headed. She left feeling amazing. And I've used it with massage. So when the mat came, it came with its own plastic, and I kept the plastic. So for the clients, because I was massaging them, I didn't want oil all over my mat. So yes, I was told if I don't make it too hot, it should be okay. So I'm hoping it is, but they felt amazing. So yeah, good benefits from that. I'm just thinking how to keep it clean though if I keep using it on massage clients.
I've been putting a sheet on mine. If I've got friends coming over to use it, I just put like a really thin bed sheet on it, just in case if they're hot and they're sweating or they've got chemicals like perfumes or anything. Yeah, so I just put a sheet.
It was very interesting too, because I thought, oh, hotter better, but no, I actually liked it on 38, and when I read your notes, it's like 40. I'm like, yes, energetically 38 resonated, and it's been perfect. I don't actually end up sweating on it then, and I feel I can relax totally. But yeah, anything more than 45, I was sweating all over. I was like, oh, I don't want to get sweat on my own mat, so I got off.
Yeah. I know that Sandra's husband used it and on one occasion. I don't know what color it was on, but he had to get off. He felt so irritable and he had to get out of the house.
Yeah.
So everyone has different experiences. I guess you got to work out what you need at the time, and it's got chakras. It's bringing stuff up in you too.
I love the green.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's
my
really funny
favorite
you
is,
say that. I tend to just intuitively put it on green every single time,
Mm-hmm.
Tanika. Like we yesterday we didn't actually have the sheet of all the, so every time that a new client would get on, I would just intuitively choose what they needed, and every single time it was always green.
Love it.
Yeah, right. So they all needed the deep.
Yeah.
So my favorite is probably the blue and the yellow.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're so good. Oh, well, thank you for sharing. That's awesome.
Mm.
Tim,
My
what's your
favorite.
experience? Do you want to share?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well, I like all of them. I can't choose. They all come do their own magic. So yeah, no, it's been really good. Great if you've got lower back pain or anything like that. I remember I think Paige and Beck and that borrowed it one other time, and I just my jawline was really sore. And I got it back and just laid on that for half an hour, and it started going. By the next day, it was gone.
Mm.
Amazing.
It was just really tight and sore, and just laying on that helped get rid of that. I've also had a client. She had really painful feet, and she was on it. Within 5 minutes, she could feel the difference. She could hardly walk on them when she came in. When she got off, she was touching the back of her feet and had no pain for a couple of days.
That's amazing.
So that was amazing. I've also done a couple of surrogacy for her, and the same effect for her again. It's
That's
been
amazing.
really good.
So good.
So you're using it obviously with clients?
Every now and then,
Yeah.
Yep. I
Are
haven't
you
really
charging?
advertised it yet, so start doing all that. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out that price and that stuff with it yet.
Yeah. What are you charging, Tanika? Not yet.
No. Yeah.
I guess, I mean, we can charge what we want, but I'm just going to do an add-on of probably $75 or something for half an hour or
I thought
something like
about
that.
doing when mine arrives, doing the inner voice with it, doing it for half an hour and charging $80.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do it
It's
with an
still under that
invoice.
$100 mark. It's that, $80 is affordable. That was kind of my thought. That's where my kind of intuition kind of went to. But I thought how amazing for people to be able to come, because it'll still work out to be a 3/4 of an hour session by the time they come in, get settled, do their inner voice, lay down, listen to the tunes, hop up. It's still going to be a while, as much as I won't necessarily need to be there the whole half an hour. I thought kind of $80 was a good price point as well. So
Yeah. And I always dreamed like the acupuncturist put needles in and walk out of the room. Now we can just put them on the mat and walk out of the room.
Yes, perfect. I always, with the tunes, my mum always comes over and I say, Mum, I'm going to do your inner voice. I'm going to do the tunes. And she's like, oh, I don't know. I don't want any of that. I'm not in the mood today or whatever. And I say, look, just do it for a minute. Honestly, lay up here. So I can't wait till the mat comes, because then I can lay her on the mat. But even now, like, she'll put her, the earphones on and I say, just lay there for a minute. I put it on continuous. Honestly, it's never been under half an hour until she goes, am I finished with this yet? And I know that then she's, it's time to finish that. So half an hour, I feel like, is kind of the good time frame.
Yeah, totally. And I've had a few friends, I've come in on the half an hour and they're like, could I have another 10 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
good.
So I've
Can
also, sorry,
Can I just interrupt you for a second?
Sure.
We were talking about massage bed covers and that sort of stuff. You can get disposable ones, and they range from about 50 cents to like $1.20 or something like that. And you can buy them on Amazon or lots of different places. And my friend who I was talking about yesterday when we were talking about the products, and I'm getting my super duper thing shortly, she was recommending that we just source these, because at that sort of price you can afford to just throw it away after each client has used it.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, awesome. There you go, Tanika.
If you know the link, could you throw it in the big group if there's a link to buy them?
I'm only just starting my research on them tonight as well. So she just said, just go and do your own Googling, and where you know, you can, I had a quick look, Bunnings was showing up as a result. I haven't gone and had a look yet, but Amazon has loads of them. Different massage supply places in Australia also sell them. So it just depends on what your price point is and where you want to buy from.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you.
There also looks like you can get like a almost like a really fine material that just isn't
almost like
rolled, so you'll
paper.
be able to break it off as you go. So that might be, if it's
sort of
not
like
plastic,
paper, but it doesn't tear. Yeah,
environment wise too.
And
It's called a disposable, like, you know, like you have in a day spa where you would have like a disposable, almost like really fine sheet over the top. So that might be, so Tanika, you could have maybe the plastic underneath, because I know you've got the oil, but then that sort of throwaway sheet on top, that you might be able to just lay over the top, that might make it a bit easier for you.
just be careful you check your sizes.
Yes.
Some of them are just tiny little ones that really are just suitable for your face or something like that.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, when we were talking about it, someone had been caught out and got the wrong measurements.
Always happens, right? Yeah, this one's specifically for massage table, but you're right, definitely check the size as well. So yeah, it looks like there's quite a few different ones. If you can get something that's biodegradable, I feel like that would be a great option as well. So yeah, lots of different ones. That's awesome. Thanks, Ange.
Amazing. Anyone else got a mat yet in the group here?
It's on its way.
It's on its way. All right. Well, I have got a little PDF gift if you guys would like to tell us in the group after this Zoom training, what color would you use first when you get your mat? And I'll send you a little PDF. I'll show you what I'm going to send you if I can bring it up. It's little frequencies split up of what it can do. So obviously 3 hertz is for deep sleep, 4 hertz is for this, 5 hertz. So you could muscle test. It gives you a little bit more. There's healing goals. So if someone came in with inflammation release, maybe you can try one of these. Hormone balancing, you could try this. Fatigue recovery, nervous system, etc. So you could maybe muscle test on what program they needed. So that's my little handout and some research notes on it. So if you do want that, yeah, please tell us what color you would use first when you get your mat.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. That was awesome information. And even if you don't have the mat yet, remember, you know, if you're a QLA, you have a shop site, you can be selling the mat and earning really good commissions as well. So, you know, if you've got any questions about that, remember your marketing site is in your back office. That is a specific link for your shop that you get, that only costs you that $49 a year. So any questions, shout out, and we look forward to seeing you next Monday night on training as well. And don't forget to pop that favorite color of yours that you would use into our Frequency Soul Collective Facebook chat. So thank you, everyone. Thanks, Amanda. Good night, everyone. Bye.